Hey man, what's going on? It's Dukes and Bell. Day-Day's here, Big O, and it is a Wednesday, hump day, as we try to get through the rest of this week, guys. President's Day, which is Monday for most people who'll be off. It's a nice long weekend, so we're trying to get there. Mike, I'll say the Braves thing is got us reeling right now. The latest
Right.
news is that Schwellenbach is going to need surgery. Mike came in yesterday and said, "Look." Why don't we just go ahead and put him out for the rest of the season? And he was joking.
Right.
Well, maybe it's not a joke now, and maybe this is real. And all of a sudden, again, a guy that you were hoping to rely on,
Right.
you now know he needs surgery. And guys, we know how this goes. I mean, these arm surgeries, Mike, these elbow surgeries for pitchers. Say what you want. None of these guys usually don't make it back in the same season.
No, I mean, and it's just like I hate to be that broken record, but this is one that every year, every offseason, I ask for more pitching because you can never have enough. And guys, we're not the only team, Carl. I don't want to make this just about the Braves. There's lots of clubs in Major League Baseball that are dealing with young arms since from the time guys are 15 or 16, everyone's trying to reach 90 miles an hour. And so through college or through the minor leagues, they're just, how many kids? I got a buddy whose kid had Tommy John surgery at age 18. It's insane, But I mean, now we know how the arm use goes, but we just seem to be really just completely star-crossed with our starting pitching. So we don't invest in it. Knowing what the big leagues are about now, why don't we give ourselves an out so we actually have 6 options as opposed to 3.5? Because now with Schwellenbach out, you're still hoping that Strider continues to do his thing and get back to where he needs to be. You got Ronaldo Lopez. That's not a given. And then, of course, you're going to ask Hurston Waldrop to pitch more innings than he ever did in his professional career. So it just drives me crazy. And Carl kind of went to a dark place yesterday about the Falcons. I will go to a dark place about the Braves and talk about what they've just missed, which I believe is their window. Because, I mean, they're throwing money around like nickels, like manhole covers. They're not approaching this offseason like they needed to. And now I think they're going to pay the price in this division.
Yeah, look, first of all, we're spoiled as Braves fans because we've won so much, and it's expected. And so, when we said last year, team's not any good, we caught hell. There were people who were pissed off at us because they didn't want to believe the team wasn't going to be able to turn it around. Team wasn't any good. Then you got all these injuries that hit. And, you start the season again this year with questions at the front and at the front end of your starting rotation. And Day-Day, chime in here, man, because this news hit this morning. He actually spoke to the media down there at Northport and basically said, yeah, I'm going to need surgery. I'm not sure when I'm going to get it. And everybody's like, great, and these things happen. But it just, again, for us, this seems like a perpetual thing, Day-Day, that has happened over the last few years, to Mike's point. After the World Series, it's been here. Right?
Yeah.
We haven't gone here. It's kind of been here. We had the 1 year where we were incredible offensively, where we should have won the damn World Series.
2023, right?
Pitching didn't matter because we were just
year.
Yeah, we're out hitting everybody, right? We're scoring 7, 8, 9 runs a game.
Yeah.
It's been downhill. What do you think?
I mean, you guys are spot on, man. It's funny because ironically, Grant Holmes today told everybody he's 100%. And that he's going to be full go for spring training. Well, let's not forget that he opted not to have surgery for that partially torn UCL.
Right.
So now in my mind, I'm like, dude, like, you might be feeling good, but like, come on, man. This is a throwing injury. Like, come on. You're talking about yeah, man, they got to go get some arms, man. They got to address this. The list is starting to get short. I think I sent you guys a text about some of the names that are still out there of, guys that people consider still viable options for teams that are looking for some guys.
Yeah, but here's the deal, though, right? They're not considered studs, right? They're not. And I don't even know if any of these guys, to be honest with you, are they real innings eaters? Are you going to get 200 plus innings out of these guys? Right. So what you're saying is we're getting either average or more than likely below average guys if they go sign some of these guys, without a trade, without trying to make a deal.
Right.
Go ahead.
No, but that's all I'm saying is like they gotta go get someone that is a viable, to your point, a viable starter, someone that's going to be able to go in there and when his number is called, he can get up on that mound and give us a good 6.5, 7 innings pitched.
It's going to be interesting to see how Double A handles this. I said to Mike yesterday, and it's Dukes and Bell, guys. It's our behind the curtain show. We do this every day for those of you who are new and you're going, what the hell is this? We are on live every day, 2 to 6, and we are the number one sports talk show in Atlanta and in the Southeast, guys. And more importantly, on the number one sports station, 92.9 The Game. So make sure you tune in, check us out, and give us a listen. But here's the deal, Mike. I said to you yesterday when we were talking about this, like Double A wants to take a risk on a stock that's low and hope that it ends high, right? And he's able to sell that thing and make some money out of it. And everybody goes, man, he was a genius because he's done that time and time again. He did it in 21 with the trades. It got us a World Series. He did it with Chris Sale where nobody really wanted to take a chance. Right. That is going to be the approach. I just don't think he's going to make a big trade to go try to get another real arm.
No, they'll be, again, guys, we joke around. They're always shopping with a Groupon. Now, there are agents with pitching available. And again, we don't deal with Scott Boras. Carl's pointed it out because they don't take on the no trade clause. So you basically eliminate, well, I don't know, do a number, Carl, 50% of the best starting pitching that's available.
So, yes.
So then you're left with other guys that, look, what we're looking for is like innings eaters. And you touched on this earlier. Braves fans, I love it. There's some eternal optimism. There's also some delusional fans out there, because last year was never going to be a playoff caliber squad. And it just frustrates me because I think the fan base is taken for granted by ownership. And I think that Alex, again, he could probably be a little less rigid with that philosophy about starting pitching, but I still think corporate doesn't let him do the kind of things. They're never going to let him take on like the Max Fried type contract that the Yankees gave him, and we suffer for that. Yeah. So it's not the right way. If you're trying to win a championship and you've got all these guys committed, and Austin Riley's got to stay healthy, and Albies has got to stay healthy. We talked about that, and Ronald's got to do his thing. But you've got to spend a little bit more. You're $65 million behind the Phillies, who aren't afraid to spend to be the best in this division.
Right. We're going to move on because I know we'll get into this today, but I want to start with your thoughts about James Pierce Jr.'s girlfriend coming out, former girlfriend, and saying she is willing to testify, according to her attorneys, against James if it comes to that. I don't know if it's going to come to that, guys. He may plea and cut a deal, and there is no testimony. But Amy Dash, our legal analyst for Odyssey, is going to join us today. And, for me, I know what it means. What's it mean for you to hear that from her, which we've heard nothing from, by the way? No statements, no nothing. This is the first time that we've heard something from her attorney.
I think this is, I don't want to say an invitation, but more of an impotence being placed on the James Pierce camp to say, hey, fix this soon. Whatever you got to do to make this right, plead out, whatever you need to do, fix this. Because if this has to go further, I am prepared to do whatever I need to do to ensure that you get prosecuted and punished to the fullest extent as possible. So, James, hey, heed the warning right now. Fix this as soon as possible, and it will be for your benefit if you do that.
You know what scares me, guys, even more so about this? And look, Mike and I have said this. Let's be clear. We'd love to see him get past this somehow, some way, and be back on the field for the Falcons. We don't think it's realistic at this point. But with that said, what scares me, Day and Mike, text messages. The language in those text messages. If she testifies, all of that is going to come out. See, we all have this private stuff on our phones that nobody gets a chance to see until something like this happens. And then if you have to go to court, they can pull those phone records, man. And I just feel like you want to talk about more proof of whether he was violent or threatening to her or stalking her way before this event happened.
Or even worse.
That's how you're going to find out. So I agree with you. It's almost like, do you want the rest of this stuff to be public or do you want to leave that alone? I don't know where they stand on that. Dede, does it mean anything to you that she's willing to do this? Does it surprise you?
No, I'm not surprised at all. I think it's also in her best interest to be as cooperative as possible, especially if she's got nothing to, if there's nothing on her end that, he can say, provoked him to get to the point he got to. So no surprise at all. Look, man, I'll just be interested to hear what Amy Dash tells you guys today because you know, from what I just based on how I see things, man, he's gonna really need a lot to happen in his favor. I mean, he, you know, in my opinion, he's probably gonna need some of these charges drop or reduced. I don't know if there's any out there, you know, with some of those new ones that came out, some of the ones that are more like traffic related, if any of those can be dropped. Like he's gonna need a lot in his favor. So he probably doesn't even need to worry about the fact that she's willing to testify, if we're honest, because the charges against him right now, guys, are just like they're just mind blowing.
Yeah.
I mean, this whole situation is just mind blowing. And so, you know, again, unless there's something in there that says she was able to provoke him in some kind of manner, and to your point, Carl, she's already started showing authorities the text. She showed them text.
Yeah, she's going to cooperate.
The day of the event.
That's it. I mean, look, we talked about this yesterday, Carl, with a couple of attorneys, friends of ours in Florida. We're going to talk to Amy Dash today, legal expert, and we'll get her take from Odyssey, because we got, Carl, the best case scenario we heard yesterday was a year and a half in jail, because it's 5 years for trying to hit the cop. Whether, you know, and if unless he pleads out, he's got to literally throw himself and plead to everything. And then there's still the NFL suspension. And the Falcons, when he ever does become eligible, might say, forget it. So, I mean, I just hate to say to Falcon fans, I don't think there's a scenario where James Pierce Jr. is on this team ever right now. And maybe Amy has another viewpoint on it. We'll ask her.
Yeah, look, he is young. And if that meant him losing a year of playing time or eligibility for the NFL, doesn't necessarily mean his career is over. Some team may take a chance on him, but would it be the Falcons? And that's the thing. The team that drafted him, the team that gave him an opportunity, the team he performed so well for in his rookie season, would the team be willing to get past that? And I just think, Mike, where our owner has been with the history of things that have happened to this franchise, I don't think so. He knows how unforgiving this community can be when it comes to these kinds of things, right? And the reality is, you know, I say, and I want to, again, be clear, because I know people will hear this and be like, you want him on the field. There are other people saying they hope to never see him again. Look, I don't want to ruin a man's life. He ruined his life if he did, right? He made these choices and decisions. I'm not trying to ruin his life. I am a football fan that wants my team to be the best it potentially can be. But I also know there are a lot of you who are watching right now or who listen to us who've done some real bad shit in your life, and maybe you didn't lose your job. Maybe it didn't end that way for you. So because he's a public figure, he's an NFL player, this plays out in the public limelight, and this is the consequence of these things. So I love to see somehow him rectify and get his life right. And in the process, that means him potentially playing football. But I don't want to make sure, Mike, that we say, you know, oh, we need James Pierce. I'm more down, and that's why I went to the dark place I went to yesterday. I'm more down and disappointed on this, on how it's going to have a ripple effect on this football team.
Right. I mean, from the football side of it, from the fan base, man, we finally got the answer to our prayers. You know, decades of never having the elite pass rush. We get Jalen Walker and James Pierce in the same draft, and James Pierce Jr. is a rock star. And now his career is up in the air. And by the way, when I say I don't think he's going to be, it's not like I'm hoping he won't be. I'm just telling you what I've heard from folks, attorneys in South Florida. Alden Smith dealt with mental health issues. I mean, if he has mental health concerns, there's treatment. The NFL will help you with that. But you got to say, I need help. And I think that's one of the ways he can maybe kind of navigate the legal process, which is not really lined up in his favor right now, especially if his ex-girlfriend is willing to tell him everything, tell the court everything that went down. He's going to you got to keep her out of court. You got to take a plea deal, and you got to work on the mental health aspect. I mean, Randy Gregory, we can go through all the different players in the last couple of years that had issues. We don't want to see this guy's life end at 22 when it comes to being a pro athlete. But look, there's tons of guys in county. I said to Carl and Day yesterday in Orin at Fulton County right now that made the one mistake. You know, sometimes that one mistake is enough to wreck your life.
It is. There are a lot of guys in jail like that, Mike. It's Dukes and Bell, guys. It's Behind the Curtain. We start today at 2 o'clock. Amy Dash will join us. Let's talk Hawks, man, because they're back in action tonight at Charlotte. Dyson, Ricochet, and Jalen all questionable. We don't know if they'll play or not. We'll see if those are game-time decisions. But what are we thinking? A little revenge tonight or no? Not against this team.
Well, we got to be healthy, guys, to revenge. What do you guys say?
Yeah, I mean, look, if Jalen's not out there, our chances get cut like by 70%, right? He means that much to the end of these games and how effective he is with, you know, averaging almost a triple-double. Go ahead, Day.
I was just gonna say, well, too. Also, the Hornets. Did it come down yet? Who would be suspended for them yet? As far as So those guys may still be playing. So yeah, no Jalen. I mean, yeah, you might be in trouble. No, look, hopefully they can just go out there and again compete. This is if Jalen and Dyson aren't playing, this is a good chance for some of the newer, a couple of our new guys, and some of these younger guys, Asa Newell, who got to start the other night because of the guys not being in. It's a good chance for them to kind of still kind of get in, and Quinn kind of really, figure out how this is all going to kind of fit together once he gets all his pieces together, which we know the Jonathan Kuminga piece, we won't see that piece until after the All-Star break, hopefully.
Yeah. By the way, I know you're excited, Day Day, but I'm kind of excited too to see the WWE Women's Champion Jade Cargill is going to join us in studio today, guys. They're coming to town. What is it? It is February.
I think it's the 22nd and 23rd.
Yes, of February. They're coming to town. WWE.
This month, yes.
So obviously the countdown to WrestleMania is on, but she's going to join us in studio, man. Interesting background. If you've not watched, if you have no clue, just know she's a lot of fun. She's great personality. And I know you're looking forward to chopping it up because you and your boys watch WWE. So I know you guys are very familiar. Mike, very similar to the F1 show back in 2020. Mm-hmm. WWE has a show on Netflix that they take you behind the scenes. I think it's 2 seasons now. It's really good. And last year it was the whole thing with John Cena basically saying goodbye and coming to an end. But if you want to get caught up on where this thing is, but for WWE fans, just putting it out there, Jade's going to join us today, and she is the champ. All right.
And I think, is it true that Day Day is going to ask her to dress up like Storm from the X-Men?
Well,
that's a little creepy, Day Day. That's a little
better
creepy.
watch out, Day Day. Brandon Phillips is going to get you.
I'm about to say, I don't need that Brandon Phillips smoke or the Ebony Lewis smoke.
Upstairs. All right, man. We got a lot to get to. I'm curious to hear where Mike goes today with the Braves. Just frustration, more of that as we find out about guys needing surgery, and this rotation is going to be very interesting to start the season. It could wreck your season,
right?
Again, and that's why we're like, ugh. All right, man. We'll talk to you guys at 2:00. 92.9 The Game. Make sure you're there. We'll talk to you guys then.